Hey guys, welcome to the ninth episode of Stay Nerdy, My Friends. In today's episode, I'm going to be talking fairly fast because there's a lot that I have to get done, and including this intro, I want to get the entire thing done in 4 minutes. So I'm going to be talking really, really fast as soon as I tell you what I'm going to talk to you about. I want to be telling you guys about a question that I get asked quite frequently, and that is, if you dig a hole through the center of the Earth and jump in, what happens? And ready, set, go. Okay, the short answer is that you die in every single scenario that happens. You die, and in some of the scenarios, you kill everyone on the planet Earth. And I'm going to tell you about that in a second. Okay, first of all, let's say that it was possible for you to dig a hole in the Earth. This is a two-dimensional representation. I'm not suggesting you actually cut the Earth in half. That is not possible, but for different reasons. Okay, so here's what happens. First of all, this outer blue area is the crust, the white area is the magma, and the orange area is the core. Well, the problem is that as soon as you break through the crust, you get to the magma, and magma is in a sort of plasma state, I guess. It's kind of like a liquid, which means that you can't drill through it, but it's also like a solid, which means that you can drill through it, but it's more liquid than anything, so that's what makes it kind of a plasma. Anyway, so you can't. The short answer of this is that you can't drill through the center of the Earth, but we're physicists, so there's a lot of ridiculous thought experiments that can't ever happen in real life. Schrodinger's cat. Anyway, so what happens is, let's say that this is California and this is China. Well, if you were to dig and you jumped in, as soon as you passed the crust and you got to the magma, you would start cooking. And about right here, when you crossed into the core, your body would vaporize. You would be dead long before that. But it's so hot there that you would vaporize. There would be nothing left. But for the sake of argument, we're physicists after all, let's say that it's not that hot. Let's say that you solidified it, and so it's not that hot at all. What would happen is everyone on the Earth would die because without the molten iron core is what gives us the magnetic poles, which is what protects us from radiation from outer space. There's a lot of radiation in outer space caused by solar flares and cosmic storms, whatever. It's all radiation, and we would all die of radiation sickness, but not very fast, so whatever. So in that case, you die, but let's say that you did, and you jumped in. Well, the problem is that when you jumped in, the Earth is still rotating, and this is called the Coriolis effect. So when you jumped in less than a mile, the Earth would have rotated, and you would have hit the side of the wall. So you die there, because at that point you would be traveling very, very fast, and you hit the wall. So then, let's say that you dug through instead of California to China, you went North Pole to South Pole, and you went right along the axis. Well, that causes a lot of problems for Earth, but we're not going to get into those into that video, because we only have 40 minutes to talk about this. Okay, so what happens is, if you were to do that, and you jump through, because there's oxygen, there's still air resistance, which means that you would get about 3/4 of the way through, and then gravity on the other side would take over, and you would fall this way. Well, then gravity would take over on this side, and you would keep doing this slingshot until eventually you stop, and you're just floating in the center of the Earth. And the reason that this happens is because air resistance, because there's oxygen, because you're traveling so fast, the oxygen itself starts pushing back against you, and so that's what slows you down so you don't go all the way through. And then the reason you float at the center is because at the center of the Earth, gravity no longer affects you, because gravity is pulling in every possible direction, which means that you just float there. It's almost as if there's no gravity, but in fact, there's quite a lot of gravity. We're over 4 minutes, but I'm going to keep talking. I need to do this in less than 6 minutes now. But let's say that there's no air resistance. Well, as I just talked about, if there's no air resistance, there's no oxygen, and then everyone on the Earth suffocates. You monster. All because you wanted to get from one end of the Earth to the other really, really fast. You killed everyone on the planet. You're a terrible person. Anyway, well, if that were to happen, your dead body, because you would suffocate because there's no air, what would happen is your body would make it to this end of the Earth as far as you jumped, because if you jumped in, you would come out just as far as you jumped, because you can't get more energy than you put in, and you would just keep slingshotting back and forth, because you're a dead body, so it's not like you can do anything to affect what happens on the other side. But if by some miracle you were still alive, and you came out to the edge, it is technically possible for you to stick an arm out or something and catch yourself. it would hurt a lot because you're still traveling really fast. But it's technically possible. But as I've discussed several times over, that whole thing is crap because you can't dig a hole through the earth. As you can tell, I'm talking slow now because I'm done talking about all the different ways. Basically, no matter how you look at it, if you were to jump into the center of the earth, you would die because either you just float at the center of the earth until you suffocate, or you suffocate from removing all of the air from all the air resistance. Um, Anyway, thank you for watching this episode of Stay Nerdy, my friends. I love that you guys are involved in the show and keep sending me in questions. I love that. There's a lot of really exciting episodes coming up, and there's going to be lightsabers, and there's going to be so much just epicness. Stay tuned. Subscribe to the show if you want to keep watching it. Like this video if you did like it. Favorite it if you want to favorite it. Share with all your friends. That's one thing I will ask, is that you share this with a lot of people, because I would love it if the show got more views. We're already getting a lot of views for a small-time YouTube show. We're at 612. It's getting a lot of views for a small-time show, but I would like this to become sort of a lot of people to see it, because that would be cool. I mean, who doesn't want to be recognized by a lot of people? Actually, I got recognized a couple times yesterday. I'll make another video talking about that, but yeah, it's a really cool feeling. Thank you for watching this episode. Do all that stuff if you want to. I would dig it if you guys did. I don't want to be one of those people that tells you what to do. So share with all your friends. Definitely do that. Share it with people that you don't even know. Just share it. And since I'm just rambling at this point, stay nerdy, my friends.